60636 is on duty today, and we just had so much stuff happen that I want to bring you up to date with. First and foremost, we just closed out our national tour in Bronzeville, 60653 zip code, and that month was kind of slow for us in terms of actually getting people into that zip code to work, but we raised $2,161 for the month of May, which is a lot of money for us. And 744 of those dollars were donations, and $1,439 was in bathroom tissue. Now the donations is good, and 510 of those dollars came from one of our Fortune 500 companies downtown that did a bake sale and had people up north and all over the suburban areas bake goods, come in and sold those goods in 3 hours and raised $510. That money is specifically for our New York trip that's coming up on June 19th. So that was good. The outstanding story, in addition to that one, is the toilet tissue. And the reason I say that, because remember, donations is good, but it's based on how people feel. They have to be in the mood to give. What we have to do in our community is build an economy where it's predicated on things that you need, that you're going to spend money on no matter what. And we know bathroom tissue, everyone needs it, whether you feel good or not. You're going to end up having to purchase some tissue, so why not purchase it from a group that's out there on the front lines every single day? And so to raise that much money is awesome. We created a program called Tissue Jumpstarters. The purpose of the Jumpstarters is so that we can have money up front. So a person will literally pay for their tissue for the year or for 12 deliveries, and they pay that money up front. So that's $120 that they would pay, and we have 12 times to deliver the tissue to them. So it allows us to have money up front so we can hire more people and build our system so that we will fund our system so that we can do all the things that we do. So the Tissue Jumpstarter started this month. So far we've had 10 people commit to that, and we just had to pick up the money, but that's going to be real good. We have 3 adults that we are working with, and that's actually getting paid to build this network. And then we have over 9 children. We have about 5 strong ones and 4 stragglers that work periodically with us. So we're talking about 12 people that's benefiting every time you buy tissue. Thank you for that, and it's really helping these our residents, our people who are working. So tissue is doing good. That much money is good. 60636 in West Inglewood, one of the so-called real poor zip codes, is doing the best out of all 20 zip codes. So far, over $550 has been spent with us in tissue. Since January, end of January, we've collected over $3,000 in toilet tissue sales. And people laugh at that. They say that's not a lot. But think about this. That's $3,000 that we were able to redirect, that would have went to entities and businesses that can care less about the killing in our neighborhood. Instead, it went to us, and it put your people to work in various neighborhoods. So good job, thank you. Please, let's increase that and keep that growing. We want people to do that. The other part that I want to report on is the distribution holding companies, DHC. We're looking at creating these distribution holding companies in all 20 neighborhoods, and these are for-profit entities that will have 20 people in the neighborhood as owners. And we're talking about $10 per share. If you don't know what shares is, it's your stake in the community, in the corporation, and you profit as it profits. So we're going to teach people how that whole process works after the 4th of July, and we're going to get people to invest, pull that money together so we can open up the physical stores. That's the ultimate goal, is people to drive around and see these stores in their neighborhood. And if you look behind me here, I have the blueprint on how that's going to look, with the vans driving the kids around, delivering it, and having a base to sit and get on the computer, the internet. Each one of these, I'm gonna have to zoom in so you can see it, but each zip code will have its own storefront that we warehouse the tissue in, and it also works as a community center where you can go in and use the internet, where we have a couple of laptops with internet in there. So you're talking about using tissue to create a homework center / internet cafe / tissue warehouse, all paid for through your buying toilet tissue. awesome concept, and we're on our way to making that happen. Other thing I want to report about is the corruption. And as you probably heard about, Chicago has over, we have 50 aldermen here, city council persons, that make $110,000 a year. They've been voted themselves a raise without talking to the people on the block. They also voted themselves an increase on the expense account. So right now they get $73,000 every year for their office expenses and just expenses it costs to run the office. Now keep this in mind, the automatic seat is a part-time role. Unfortunately, the 17 African American aldermen, and maybe not all of them, but we have 17 out of the 50, most or some claim that it's a full-time job. Now, part of that is the great need in the community, but also we have to make certain that we're teaching people how to be self-sufficient so that we're not depending on the alderman. And so in some of these neighborhoods, 311, which is a non-emergency number you get city services from, can do away with the need of having that physical alderman there if we're empowering the community to be self-sustaining, which we should be, so that they're not dependent on us. So we have a petition drive going around right now to poll the residents on what do you think if we reduce the city council. Right now there's 25 police districts in Chicago. Let me say that again, 25 police districts that cover the second largest city in the third largest city in America. So if you have 25 police districts that manage 13,000 police officers, why do we need double that in aldermen? Why do we need 50 elected officials to make more laws and policy versus police districts to keep us safe? Seems a little backwards to me. So we have people out circulating, finding out, what do you think? That's what I think, but what do the people block by block say and feel about that? So if someone engaged you and asked you to sign, go with your heart. There's two questions on the sheet. One asks, do you agree that we should reduce the city council from 50 aldermen to 25, making it the same as the police districts? And then the second question is, should we add term limits so that the alderman and the mayor can't be in there all these years and whatnot? So those are the two questions. Hopefully you'll sign that. Right now in Chicago is so much corruption, so much insider deals being made, and while in these so-called ghetto areas, resources are just not there. People are struggling. People are hopeless and just trying to survive, while you got people that's well connected at City Hall taking care of their families and they're in crowds using your tax dollars. Totally backwards. So we're going to push on that agenda as well. So we talked about the ownership, getting us in ownership, getting rid of these corner stores owned by people who can care less about us. I didn't speak about the career clubs, and I'll do that later on. I just wanted to give you guys an update on some of the other things that we're working on. So proud about the tissue. We're going to get this corruption out of here. Last thing is our trip to New York. It's in 18 days. We're going to head to Harlem. So be on the lookout for us, New York. We coming there to do the door-to-door work in your city. And hopefully you guys will join us. Thank you.